guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 13 of Bookmas. As you saw probably in my upload schedule, things got a little wonky. Over the weekend I went out of town and I thought I had everything scheduled, but it turns out I did not have everything scheduled. So nothing went out when it was supposed to and I'm just kind of playing catch up now, so bear with me. And then day 13 technically should have been a live show last night, but it was a really long day at work, and then I got home and knocked over the entire Christmas tree, and I was just so upset and really did not feel like doing a live show. So here we are. We're gonna do a video for day 13, even though it's technically day 14, but who's counting, right? So today's video is going to be a kind of reproduction of a video I did 2 years ago, in which we're going through some classic or popular Christmas movies and then attributing a book to said Christmas movie. For example, to kick us off, I have Home Alone as the movie, and last time I recommended the book series of Percy Jackson and the Olympians because Percy definitely has that like young, I'm going to create a war camp vibe when people try to break into his home. This one also has a vibe of protecting your home at whatever cost, and it is a little bit younger, even though it's pretty gory and probably not what you would necessarily think of when thinking of Home Alone, but that is Attack on Titan. I became obsessed with this series in like January-ish, January, February, maybe March, I don't remember. It was the beginning of the year, and I absolutely adored the anime, and I've been collecting the manga. So this tells the story of this society that believes that they are the last people on Earth, and that the Titans, these like man-eating cannibalistic giants, they're trying to like protect themselves from these giants. And one day Aaron, our main character, watches his mother get eaten in front of him, and he makes it his mission to become a scout and to take down these Titans. And I think just following a young boy who is very defensive and protective of his home and his family, but also just a little young and chaotic at the same time, is somewhat of a comparison. So my recommendation, if you like Home Alone, is to read Attack on Titan. Next up we have The Grinch. And for this, by the way, if you want to see the rest of my previous recommendations, check out the link here of the last video. I mentioned what the previous one was on Home Alone, but I'm not going to spoil it for the rest. So the next one I have is The Grinch. And for this, I thought of just kind of a grumpy character that is also, I don't know, just like trying to stop other people from achieving their dreams or achieving their happiness. So for this, I'm going with Crossbones by Kimberly Vale. This is a pirate book featuring 3 different perspectives, and I think each of these pirates are kind of grumpy in their own respect. And we are following 2 pirates and then also a like passenger commoner that ends up being a little bit more, you'll see. And one of the characters I'm thinking of specifically is very grumpy. It's like a grumpy sunshine romance, and I think even our main character of Scylla has that grumpy feature to her. But essentially these there's 5 pirate captains, 3 younger captains. The 5 pirate captains are in a trial to obtain the Bone Crown and become the next like Bone Monarch. There's only ever been a Bone King, so Scylla is very determined to be the first Bone Queen, I think, or Pirate Queen, not Bone, Pirate Queen. And it's just a really fun trial-y pirate graphic novel. If you enjoy adventure, this is definitely up your alley, but I just love the grumpy characters in it too, and their hearts turning to gold, of course. So this is a good recommendation for that. Next I have the Polar Express, and I don't actually own my recommendation. It is on one of my many wish lists, and that is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. This was probably my favorite romance of the year, and in this we are following a young woman who has given up on love until her friend kind of talks her into doing a DNA test, and this DNA test is said to find your like one true soulmate, and the girl ends up matching with her enemy, who also just so happens to be the like CEO, founder of the company. So he is very inclined to date her even though they don't get along, to prove that his DNA matching works. So it's like fake dating slash enemies to lovers, and it's so good. I love it so much. One of the best romances of all time, and definitely my favorite romance of the year. So it's definitely a cozy read, and I'd recommend it because Polar Express is my cozy Christmas movie. Next up we have Elf, and in this Buddy the elf is going on kind of a quest. His is to find his father, and in this one we have Bone Crier's Moon, and in Bone Crier's Moon our quest is to become a bone crier. Bone Crier's Moon tells the story of bone criers and how they come to be, and it's essentially the bone crier sings a song to her true love, and their power comes through sacrifice. So to become a full-blooded bone crier, they must sacrifice their one true love. And bone criers are farriers of the dead. So, I mean, a little bit of a different vibe than Elf, but I love that we're going on a quest. And her mother is also kind of grumpy, trying to live up to her mother, trying to make her mother happy, kind of the way Buddy was trying to make his father happy. So we've got a little bit of that parental aspect as well. Next up we have Christmas Carol, which is Scrooge going through different time periods, past, present, and future, to basically become a better person. And for this I have a contemporary, YA contemporary called Blackout. This is like a mystery thriller contemporary in which we are following a young girl who was in a car accident and doesn't remember anything about her life, and like as certain things happen currently, she's getting flashbacks to the past. And I think that this fits perfectly because not only that like flashback time travel aspect, but also she used to be a horrible person before she got amnesia, and when she got amnesia and like forgot everything, she started to be a better person. So it's got that being a better person aspect as well. I really enjoyed this one. I would highly recommend it if you enjoy like a cozy YA contemporary thriller mystery. Next up we have Nightmare Before Christmas, which is essentially like a cozy horror. And when I think of cozy horror, my first thought goes to Gallant by V.E. Schwab. This is a middle grade slash YA horror novel in which we are following a young orphan girl who finds out she actually has some family left and gets taken in by them and starts to learn secrets about her family legacy and past. There's like this wall that people cannot cross because I think like death is on the other side or something like that, like the manifestation of death or something evil is on the other side. And it's definitely spooky, creepy. I'm such a wimp, so that might just be me, but I think this is definitely like that cozy spooky vibe, so fits perfectly with Nightmare Before Christmas. Next up we have The Santa Claus, in which Tim Allen plays a man who accidentally ends up hurting Santa and has to take his place for the holiday season. And I went with a book in which one character takes another character's place, only it's kind of a reverse. This is Little Thieves. It is a kind of bent retelling of Goose Girl. Goose Girl tells the story of a princess who gets her identity taken, and you're typically following Goose Girl when she is like in her peasant era, but this we are following the villain who actually takes the identity. So we're following the peasant that is like taking the princess's place, and we're following like the princess side of things. So super interesting. We have someone taking someone's place, and I loved this. It's definitely a really fun twist on the like folktale. Next up we have The Nutcracker, in which Clara receives a nutcracker for Christmas and is sucked into the world of sugar plum fairies and rats that are soldiers and all of this magical, fantastical thing. For this, I'm going with Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. This is pitched as Black Girl Magic King Arthur retelling, and in this we are following Bree, who is a young female attending college, and while she's at college she sees something kind of fantastical happen, and she kind of tracks it down and ends up finding this society, and they try to wipe her memory, but she still remembers after the memory wipe, and she just gets sucked into this King Arthurian world and gains like powers and all sorts of things. So this is a normal girl getting sucked into another world and potentially being a chosen one. So I'm so excited to read the sequel, by the way. I can't believe I haven't done it yet. Bloodmarked. Yes! Next up, we have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, another movie. And for this, I'm going with kind of a fantastical creature that saves the day, and that is Shadow the Sky. I know, I'm sure we're all surprised it's not Crown of Feathers. I thought about it, but I decided to mix it up a little. This is Shadow the Sky by Rebecca Kim Wells. It is a sapphic dragon tale. And in this we are following a girl whose girlfriend gets stolen, so she recruits the help of the like head dragon to steal her back. So it's intense, it's fun, I really enjoyed it. Next and lastly, I have White Christmas, a nice little classic beautiful story about a company that starts to go under, so they put on a giant show to save the company. And for this, I'm going with instructions for dancing, because in this book we have a young couple who is tasked with competing in a dance competition to save the dance studio. So it's got that like saving the company aspect. But this story follows a young female whose parents are getting divorced, so she has given up on love until one day when she's trading all of her romance books into the Little Free Library. A woman encourages her to take a book in return, so she picks up a textbook called Instructions for Dancing. And ever since picking up the book, every time she sees a couple like interact or kiss, she sees their entire relationship and how it ends, and it's just pushing her more and more to give up on love. This book is a wild ride, so prepare yourself and enjoy. So those are all my book recommendations for some popular Christmas movies. Let me know what you guys would duet together, like pick a book and pick a movie that you think you could compare, and I will check the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's videos, I don't even remember what's going up tomorrow. I think it's the day 11 and day obviously 15 will go up as well. Day 15 I think is going to be all of my childhood books, so stay tuned. I might be day 14. I'm so far behind. We'll see where we're at. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, friends.